Hey, this is Ryan from D3 Technologies. Today I'm going to talk about Fusion 360 rendering with the ground plane. So let me jump over to my model here. In this case we've got a stack of floppy disks, and you'll notice the shadow is not really where I want it to be. I would like this D3 Technologies disk to be standing upright and this stack to be laying on the ground. First of all, if you don't see shadows at all in the modeling environment, you go to Display Settings, Effects. We have the option of turning the ground plane on or off right here. And in fact, you can toggle the reflection and the shadows as well individually. You will notice though, even if you have the ground plane off in the modeling environment, when you go to the rendering environment, it probably shows up again. So in the rendering environment, our ground shadows are controlled in a different spot. This is the scene settings. In the scene settings, we have the option, again, of turning the ground plane and the reflections on or off. And the shadow is always there if the ground plane is visible for the rendering. So once you have the ground plane turned on, we now need to look at how do we fix the orientation. I might mention if you're using Fusion's default navigation mode, which is the constrained orbit, then you've probably already fixed this. It's very awkward to navigate your model if up is not up. But if you're using the free orbit, which is common in a lot of other CAD packages, then it's very easy to work with the model even when that's not set correctly. So just a little side point there. Now how do we actually fix it? All we need to do is set our view to what we want the front or the top to be and reset with the view cube. So I'm going to use my Look At tool and select a face I would like to be, in this case, the front. I just simply right click on my view cube and set the current view as front. And you'll notice the shadow shows right up where I want it. You may do that occasionally, but the Look At tool had rotated your model to the side and still have a shadow that's a little bit off. Just remember, you can use the View Cube navigation tools to orient the model however you want and then reset the view to the front or the top. So it's pretty easy. All we need to do is reorient the View Cube by right-clicking or selecting the little options toggle and resetting our views. One other consideration when you're rendering with the shadows is that when I do my full render with the in-canvas or with the cloud or local final render tools, the shadow often looks different than it does in the preview. So again, we're going to go to the scene settings for this. Depending on the scene that you're rendering with, you may see different shadows. In this case, we're using the dry lake bed, clear sky, no clouds. The sun will cause very harsh shadows, but I'm going to drag in the field environment. You'll notice the shadows soften up a little bit. This is a more cloudy day with more diffused lighting. So just keep in mind the environment you choose to use will affect the shadows in the final rendering often differently than they do in the preview. Alright, so hopefully those tips helped you out. As always, if you have any questions or would like more information, feel free to reach out to our team.